All right, people, welcome to another episode of Natty News Daily. Please ignore James' lack of glasses. We sent out an explicit memo to make sure you wear your orange-colored glasses, and apparently you didn't read the memo. So
I did not.
He's 2 days out. He's forgiven. So we're going to do another Natty's on the Rise episode. We're going to do it a little bit different than last time. I think just the first kind of trial run, we all agreed maybe dropping 2 names each plus a unanimous vote might be a little too much. So we're just going to go with 1 name each, and then we'll talk about the unanimous at the end. But before we get into it, the big story of the night, as I just said, James is currently 2 days out from the first show of the season. So we'll let you chat about that right now, my man.
I don't think there's too much to chat about, honestly. This has been like a super streamlined prep, which has been nice. Change of pace. Anybody that has known me, you guys do, you know my prepping fiascos from before, being like self-coached up until this like last off season. I was doing silly things and experimenting on myself and running like 14 to 20 week preps of like protein sparing modified fasting and just not doing the smart things. Still got lean, not lean enough, but this time, I mean, we started like the prep before the prep in November, dropped a couple pounds, like maintained over the holidays, dropped a little more. So I've been like in a deficit forever, but it doesn't feel like it. I actually just told Brett this today. I was at the grocery store picking up my Cheerios and my tuna for tomorrow. And
what a combo.
Yeah, it's great. I was walking past all the things that I like in previous preps would have been like dying to eat right now, like chips, ice cream, like all those things. I was just sitting there like looking at them for a bit, and I was like, you know what, I could justify eating that for a day because we're doing like 2 loose days after the show before I get back into it. And I was just sitting there like, I don't want it. I don't have cravings right now. My energy, all things considered, is fine. Like when you look at how much I'm actually doing right now, if I had a normal 9 to 5 job and was just prepping, like this would be a cakewalk right now. So there's definitely a smart way to do it. And I think we found it this time. So hopefully we can pass on that knowledge to other clients.
Yeah, for sure. The time frame is probably one of the biggest differences too, right? You're not rushing things. You know, you had that time at the beginning there where you hammered it a little bit, took a break, then got back on. You were able to control everything, which, it still amazes me. Like even, I'm sure you've probably got it too, where clients inquire and they're like, so I want to do a show in 12 weeks. And you're like, man, like, especially first timers, you're like, that's not a good idea. Let's not do that. And people still, they think that it's, when I say, like, even like for me, for example, for girls, I try to like go no less than 18. And that's for like a bikini girl who probably is only going to lose, if she's in normal body fat condition, like 10 to 15 pounds, give or take.
Yeah.
And I want 18 to 20 weeks. And they, more often than not, they're like, that seems so long. I'm like, oh, but that's because still, to this day, the 12-week prep is kind of status quo, right?
It is, yeah.
But no, I think the big things this time, we did a prep before the prep, so we kind of cleaned me up. And I was coming from like, so what is it now? I've dropped 50 pounds. So, I mean, you can't do that in a short period of time. I intentionally got way heavier than I should have just because, we were working on some stuff. But so I took a very long period of time. I did a prep before the prep and my life was stable. That's the big one for a lot of new clients. I was prepping in grad school before and stuff was all over the place. Now, like things are stable. I know my income and my finances are good. Like got a house, relationships good. Like, I'm, raising an 8-month-old, but compared to like trying to do some of the stuff I was doing in grad school while working overnight shifts and all this stuff, like easy.
Yeah, I waited until after I graduated to even think about prepping. Like I talked about competing when I was in school, but I was like, there's no way I could do it when I was in school. So I agree with that sentiment.
People really underappreciate like how much normal life helps prepping. You know what I mean? Like if you have, any kind of work issues, well, just for lack of a better term, or like relationship rocky times, like that makes prep so much harder. And anybody that's gone through a prep knows the challenges it puts on all areas of your life, with work, with relationships, with all the other things. And if those things start to get like crumble a little bit and you're trying to be like, no, prep, like it's not easy. I mean, I'm sure we've all pushed through some things that in hindsight you might have to apologize for, but you know, when the big stuff starts to crumble outside of prep, that's when it's just like, it's a mess. And then you finish your show and you have like nothing in your
I think Eric Helms said it in one of their early podcasts. If you're prepping correctly, nobody should know you're prepping.
Yeah, I think that's Birdo say that too. I feel like he said
maybe
one
it was
time.
Birdo.
I feel like he tried to prep like in secrecy, like even from his partner, for like 20 weeks before like anybody noticed, which is, you know, that's pretty commendable, right? That just goes to show your, you know, your maturity within the process, but also your ability to execute, you know, and, you know, measure your food and track things and still, you know, tick all the boxes you need to without, you know, why are you grumpy? Why are you hangry? Like all that stuff coming into play, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, Dan, anything you want to contribute to James's 2-day out conversation?
James is the more interesting one, but still tossing the idea around of competing. So, but I don't know. We'll see.
At least you have the option, because Canada's a shit show.
Yeah, I live in the States, so I have a show right down the street, which is the Yorton. So the biggest show of the year in the OCB. It happens to be right down the street.
You were just gonna check your watch and be like, oh yeah,
Yorton time.
I better pack my suit because I gotta go.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with we'll do the unanimous at the end. Let's start with Dan's pick. So I'm gonna screen share. You guys see me? See all that?
Yep, we can see it.
All right. Give us the introduction, Dan. Who is this jacked fella?
Hesh. I'm going to butcher his last name. Elberger? Is that if it's wrong, Hesh, correct me.
Yeah.
But he's looking pretty nasty this year. This is from his show. How long? It says 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I think this was a show maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, if I had to guess.
This is 5 days out.
This is 5 days out. I don't think this photo does him justice.
Definitely not his legs. Can't see much of his legs.
Yeah, if you look at like the photo he posts on his story, and Lyra, can you pull up the screenshot? I sent it.
I
don't know if we want to go into our group message.
Yeah, I can't.
Do not share that.
We're not opening that up. But let's just say this photo doesn't do him justice. His quads are nicely striated. His upper body's looking even leaner than these shots give him credit for.
Here's some
best he's ever looked. I really think it's the best he's ever looked.
He looks night and day better than these photos here.
He looks a lot better than this even. Even this is a good. I mean, this is a good look still, but he looks even better now. Like his conditioning is the best I've ever seen him. He carries a lot of muscle on his frame, so
he's an OCB pro.
Not a pro. I don't think he's a pro. He's not a pro. No, he just competes in the OCB. He's going for that. He's going for the pro though. He told me he's going for the pro, which I think he has a really good shot at it. So
he definitely has a pro class physique. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like where he's had issues in the past, I think has been conditioning. Like I said, he carries a lot on his frame, but I think he's bringing it this year. So I think he'll find. If it's not this weekend, and I don't know if he has other shows on the schedule, I think he'll find a pro card at some point this season.
Yeah. Fun fact for those that don't know, Dan's pick is someone I'm competing against tomorrow or Saturday. So yeah, I'll be seeing it in person.
Do you know what he weighs, Dan? Have you seen any weights posted?
I don't know offhand.
He looks like
I feel like it was like
175.
Have you met him before, James?
No, just chatted with him.
Okay.
He's friends with Angelo.
I was say he's friends with Angelo. Yeah.
I think he's like high 170s to low 180s, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's got a lot of mass.
Yeah, he's got a lot of size on him. So you'll get to see him in person, which would be cool. Like seeing people in person is a whole different game.
Yeah,
Like it's
sure.
like you can look cool in pictures, but like when you see that thing and like see people in person though, it's like a whole nother thing, man.
Yeah, I remember when I competed in the WNBF there in 2019, and we were at the athletes meeting, and like you're always scoping around, seeing how everybody's looking, and guy over to my left, baggy sweater on, shorts, but his calves were just stupid, shorter fella, and I leaned over to my fiance and I said that guy's gonna give me trouble. So then we get pumping up backstage. Sweater comes off, all that kind
I
of
just
stuff.
say that the clothes come off.
And I look over. This is Wesley Bremick. So Greg Bremick, who's been on the page a few times. This is his brother, who is equally as freaky looking. Turns out Cliff's client as well. And just watching this guy pump up, I'm literally standing there like this, like what is even happening? And then he ended up obviously getting into the overall, got his WNBF pro card, but I was able to watch the overall and just seeing that amount of muscle on like a 5'5" frame, like you said, when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game.
Pictures don't do it. Like pictures on the gram look cool, but man, like seeing these people in person, it's like
yeah, cool.
I mean, people that quote unquote look terrible on the gram, half the time you look at him in person, like that guy looks pretty good. Yeah. That guy looks pretty swole.
Yeah.
Like,
just can't take photos.
Yeah.
Oh, liked by bathtub. What a jerk.
Oh yeah. No, he's gonna be, I mean, from the people I've seen, and there's actually a significant number of people in this competition. There's 2 classes. He's in the tall class with me, which of course I'm in the tall class. I'm like the shortest guy in the tall class by far.
They're by height?
Yeah, they go by height for OCB. So it's a short class, tall class, A and B. And there's like 11 or 12 bodybuilders in the open, plus some 50 pluses, some 40 pluses, some novice, and some debut. So there's like a significant number of bodybuilders in this show, which is nice to see. And then like there's 1,000 physique guys, it seems like. But yeah.
Dope. All right.
That'd be fun, man.
We're going to jump over to my pick. This is Christopher. And he's been off seasoning now. I believe he tried to compete last year and it just didn't pan out. But I've been a fan of him for quite some time.
Jesus, those hamstrings are...
We'll just let this play.
Those hamstrings and glutes are disgusting, man.
He's got Jared Feather glutes.
He's just ridiculous.
His hamstrings are enormous.
Yeah. He does. He's got like a sweet frame. Like when he pulls his vacuum, well, you'll see it here in a second. His quads are just loony.
Yeah, that's
what's
a great
interesting is the in the front double, it's so variable, like between people, what looks good.
Yep.
Like versus like the vacuum versus like the flex stabs. Like I think I do better with the flex stabs look. Just because I can't vacuum well, but I have good decent ab structure, or like blocky ab structure. But some people can pull that nice tight, like Chris Bumstead's type.
Yep.
But I know like Nick Walker changed the way he hits his front double in that regard, and he looked nuts at the New York Pro. Nuts. Yes. I mean, he won it like handedly, honestly. But that front double was But it's just interesting how.
Yeah, this is
that vacuum.
There's that lat spread right there. That's what I want to show
you.
Like,
see how you can just pull that like vacuum and that waist just disappears. I mean, that's spectacular.
Yeah, he's really, one thing that I like about him is like his I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Like effort into, like, how do I say this? Like everything he does, it has a reason. And that's a super broad way of putting it. But like he's very methodical. That's the word, methodical with what he's doing. I don't know. He's just
I can appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, like I think the three of us probably would echo that statement with how we do things. And I think when I see that in other people, I resonate with that. And that's exactly what I see in him. And his physique is just I think it's awesome. And
Where is he from too? I see he has his captions in English and
I don't know anytime I've talked to him, it's been in English.
So he obviously is bilingual too.
Yeah, we've never had a language barrier
but
talking.
You don't know where he's from?
No, he tagged the UKDFBA, so he's got to be around there somewhere. But that's a very broad.
Is he maybe location. I don't know, Finnish or
maybe they just come out of lockdown, from my knowledge. But yeah, he's the dude looks good. I'm super anxious to see him on stage again. I think he's now 2022. Like I said, I believe last year kind of got screwed up on him, and I think he's opting to wait until next year, which will be cool. But I think he's got a very, very, very bright future ahead of him.
Oh, absolutely. What's his competition history?
I was actually looking.
I haven't seen any stage shots.
Yeah,
unless his comps got canceled.
It's been a while, but it's all. So this would have been 108 weeks ago. So you're 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But really attentive to his posing and stuff. Like even here, like just the amount of muscle he had on me even then to now is pretty cool to see. His quads are just nuts.
His legs in general are just sick.
Yeah, nice.
I think this is a bit of a routine. Yeah, there's that vacuum.
Yeah, vacuum's sick.
Even looking at these photos, like to how he looks now, like he puts this to shame. Like he looks great here, but now, both I think from a posing perspective and a physique perspective, he's made strides. But it's cool. He's been documenting, like if we go all the way down, like he's been documenting this journey of his for a long time, and it's crazy to see like see to where he was to where
187 weeks ago.
Yeah, like you look at this and then you see the guy with the front last.
Denmark.
Oh, there we go, Denmark.
He's from Denmark.
All right,
not Finland or Sweden. I'm wrong. Denmark.
But yeah, that's my pick for the week. All right, James, we're hopping over to Brian here.
Yeah, Brian Nguyen, Giraffe Bruh.
I just really appreciate
that is really funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So I honestly haven't had too many communications with him. I've been following him for a long time. I don't even remember where. But so he competed as a teen out in California.
Did the Muscle Mayhem, didn't
he? Yeah. I was going to say the big one out there. So he did Mayhem as a teen, did well. Hasn't competed since. He switched over to powerlifting just to kind of give him a goal during his off season. And then now he's in a competitive year this year. But I mean, he's just dense as all, it's ridiculous. We were talking about the traps there are crazy.
The biggest, he's got some of the nastiest traps I've ever seen.
Well, and his like shoulder width, like that's just like that takes up a lot of space on stage.
He's got a great frame, great structure, like just the ratios, the wide shoulders, the sweeping quads.
I mean, his composition looks great in like all of his photos, even when he was like semi off season to off season, puts up a lot of weight.
Yeah, he gets peeled too.
Yeah.
That old sumo. It's interesting, like looking at his training I was looking at, a lot of it is, I mean, outside of his powerlifting stuff, it seems to be very calm, for lack of a better word. Like when I was watching some of his videos, like he had almost like soft piano in the background and like just like that almost like meditation music going on. So that, and like, here,
like a calm focus.
Yeah. It's like just a controlled, up and down, like no, I don't know, rage for lack of a better term, right? Like he just seems to be
very much like Jeff Alberts-esque,
yeah,
where it's just like do the reps, control the reps. When you're done with the set, you're done with the set, done, easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks phenomenal. I'm excited to see him compete again. I think he's gonna do well this year. I mean, he's just got too much mass not to do well for how lean he already gets.
Yeah.
Do you recall what he was on stage, like weight wise? Because he says he's, the last few photos have been like 165, so he's probably like 150. 150.
I don't know. Well, you got to remember the last time he competed was a teen, like 5 years ago or so.
True enough.
So
He's put on
his
a lot
stage,
of mass since then.
his
He was
stage
probably
weight's
in the
gonna be completely
130s if I had to
different.
guess last time around.
Actually, I think I do recall that. Yeah, now that you say 130, there is an older photo, and I was looking through it, and I think it does say 130, like way back. It's got like a stage shot from his competition or something like early
There's
from
something.
it.
Nasty shot there.
Yeah, I mean that's even then, like as a teen, looking phenomenal.
I just want to know his trap protocol.
Yeah,
Go up.
yeah.
There's one.
Yeah, he definitely got shredded, that's for sure. But look at him now. Like, look, he ate himself.
Yeah, dude, his delts got
Look at his quads. His adductor
everywhere. Everywhere.
That whole leg just blew up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely someone to watch. He's gonna, he does WMBF, so hopefully we'll be seeing him in, potentially Worlds should he qualify. Mm-hmm. I think he could do some damage. He's got the frame, he's got the mass for it.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Where does he live?
No idea.
I would guess California, but I could be completely off.
Yeah, I think it's out that way.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did he go to UC? One of the UC schools?
You're asking questions I don't know the answer to.
He might have. I don't know.
James, I know you.
He trains in his garage. Most
impressive, but what school did the man go to?
Yeah.
Well, I think I saw him tagging like at like UC gym or something. I think I could be off base, but
he told me when I was asking, but I don't have that message pulled up right now. So sorry.
All right, last one. Our unanimous. This is Alec, who I believe you will also be on stage against.
Yeah. So again, thanks guys. Thanks for. I think you
didn't know that.
Slowly tearing me down. Voting for all the competitors I'm competing against in all my shows.
Yeah. So I've been following Alec probably because I follow the show page, the Empire State Cup, and they had shared one of his posts a couple weeks ago now. So I've been following him ever since, and fellow lightweight probably by the time he gets down to stage weight. And the dude looks good. And this is he keeps a debut to remember. I think that's his little slogan here. So this must be his first show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he might honestly even be lighter at that point.
Yeah, because
I don't know what the amateur cutoffs are. I'm forgetting, but he was like 162 most recently that I know.
Yeah, that's what these shots are.
162.6, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
still quite a bit to come off, the lower body and the back and stuff. So yeah, he might be even less than he might dip into the bantam weights depending on the cutoff.
He'd be a very competitive bantamweight if he got to that that level of conditioning.
I like that. On hips, most muscular.
Mm-hmm.
I like that shot.
He uses his quads well. I mean, his quads are enormous for his frame.
Quads, yeah.
I like that front lat spread too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's got time. I mean, he's got from the comments I think I've seen, I think he's doing like 2 weeks less of prep. So I think we're at like 9 weeks out from the show. So he's prepping technically for another 7 weeks, and then he's going to do a 2-week reverse. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's come quite the way from his starting point. It's so funny when you
his upper body was like almost overdeveloped relative to his legs, and now it's like his legs might be his strongest point now.
His quads for sure, I think. Yeah, this was cool. I remember looking at this one. That was cool.
Actually, he has bigger. He has pretty big legs actually, even starting. But
it's crazy to see when you when you get those off season to pre-contest photos, right? How much of a change it can really make.
Oh yeah.
You don't appreciate it till you see them side by side. And
Oh yeah.
when you live, you know, this photo on the left here, when that's your day-to-day living, you don't really realize what you look like in a sense. And then when you start pulling it off, you're like, oh man, I look different.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's one of the most fun things about dieting.
Yeah. So debut to remember, we'll be watching, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Another episode of Natty's on the Rise. I think there's so many names, you know. I feel like every time we go to do one of these episodes, it's like, you know, options to choose.
A lot of talent. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to I don't know, leave anybody out, but there's thousands of names we'll never get to, right? Like we were talking about that, I think, before we come on, how like on the page there's people that the three of us, like I'll literally just get a DM from somebody that's like, hey, do you mind posting this? And I'll open it and they're like they're just jacked as hell, and you're like, oh my god, where'd you come from?
That's awesome that people are reaching out to you via the page though.
Oh yeah, I get like probably like close to 100 tags a day. I can't ever share them all, which I feel bad about, but my story would just be never ending. But yeah, like, you know, people from all over the place, Australia, the UK, obviously all over the States. It's really cool. It's cool, like networking and just seeing that common, you know, not only within the niche of bodybuilding, but even smaller within natural bodybuilding, how really it is a strong community and it is getting bigger, which is cool to see. And I think, you know, people message all the time saying that like, love what you're doing to this, like for the community and all that kind of stuff. The videos you guys do are awesome, bringing awareness to the sport, which is like, we're having an impact, boys.
That's all we can hope for.
That's right. When we die, these videos will remain. People will go back and be like, remember those Natty News guys? What are they doing these days? And we're just going to be like fat and lazy.
Yeah, nothing. I've broken myself one too many times. Can't lift anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. You will be a changed man. All right, people. We'll close out the episode here. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Natty_news_daily. We'll see you guys in the next one.